Welcome back, trainers. So we're over here on the Pokemon Go Twitter page, and we have some unexpected news, kind of. We already knew the Lake Trio was coming. We were expecting something of the sort, but we have something crazy going on here. You can find the Lake Trio in the wild. People are reporting these, except for one. We're going to go over that, as well as talk about the Earth Day rewards and perks and how to hit Groudon with excellent throws and all of that stuff, and currently the new raids that we are seeing. So if you get out there and you find one of these, make sure you report it to your community so as many people can get it. Now, here we go. This is going to be like, I don't know, as rare as an unknown or what. I mean, think about it, because you know when unknown spawn, you have clusters of people showing up to one location once everybody is found out on Discord or wherever you're communicating with other trainers. And could you imagine for one of these how clustered one area is going to get? But anyways, you're going to be able to find them in the wild. They're not in raids. This is pretty interesting, seeing that the first legendary being introduced into the wild is going to be the Lake Trio. Now, they could have possibly done this with the legendary beasts because they kind of work in the similar way where you have to encounter them in the wild like that. Technically, all the Pokemon, legendary Pokemon you encounter in the wild in the main series games, but yeah, you see where I'm coming from. This is absolutely mind-blowing for them to do this. Do I like it? Absolutely. It makes it fun and interesting, but at the same time, here's the downfall. People who wanted to do like duos or unique combinations, trios, or whatever they're going to be doing, that option is gone unless they make them raids one day. But as of now, you can't raid them. You can simply catch them in the wild. Yet again, the problem arises: how rare are they going to be? Because I mean, I personally have caught very few unknowns. I've never caught an unknown just simply catching it and finding it in the wild. It's because of other people reporting it and me rushing over to whatever specific part of the town this is to catch it. Most of the time, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. That's going to despawn in 5 minutes. It's going to take me 7 minutes to get there. I don't feel like, you know, breaking laws right now to get there. So yeah, just a little heads up, trainers. You can find the Lake Trio in the wild. This is insane. Let's go. Okay, so first up, we're going to be going over the raids here. This image is going to be made by LeakDuck. I will be leaving a link in the description like usual, so you can go give them a follow. So for the tier 1 raids, all of these can be shiny. We have Sandshrew, Geodude, Cubone, Swinub, and Shinx. Alright, so personally for me, I think that Sandshrew is looking pretty good. If I see one of those, I'm going to go ahead and go for it, because I still have yet to find a shiny one of those, as well as a Shinx, but that Shinx is so elusive for me. Anyways, on to tier 2s, we have Alolan Exeggutor, Kanto Exeggutor, Misdreavus, Gligar, as well as Mawile. So you can find a shiny variants in Misdreavus as well as Mawile. For the tier 3 raids, we have Alolan Raichu, which can be in a shiny variants. Then we have Machamp, Onix, Donphin, and Claydol. So Claydol, as I remember when it was first released, was a bit tough. Then when they released it for the second time, it wasn't so bad. But now we have that increased HP for the raid bosses, so we're going to see how that goes. Pretty sure it's not going to be too difficult since we all have so many OP Pokemon at this point. And then for the tier 4 raids, we have Alolan Marowak. I'm still yet to find a shiny variant in one of those. Then Rhydon, Tyranitar, as well as Absol. And Absol can be in a shiny variant. And currently, right now for Earth Day, we have Groudon making a return into the legendary raids. And it does have a shiny variant, so good out there, and hopefully you can find one, and good luck. And then, of course, for the EX raids, we have Deoxys. So there you have it for the new raids currently in Pokemon Go for the Earth Day event. Alright, now for the perks, we have increased spawns for ground-type Pokemon. So you're going to have those Cubones as well as Sandshrew, both of which can be in a shiny variant. So if you yet to catch one of those, maybe you should start tapping on as many as you can to take advantage of the situation. And then you have ×2 Stardust for ground-type Pokemon. Very specific there that we were going over a few videos back. It's not going to be for everything, just the ground-type Pokemon. Still pretty good since we do have the increased spawns for those ground types as well. ×2 candy for ground types. Also, that's going to be nice if you need those candies for whatever specific reason, especially Groudons, okay? So you're going to be getting extra candies for those. So hitting as many raids right now is going to be within your best interest if you can do so. And then, of course, we have the shiny Diglett and Dugtrio, new entry into Pokemon Go with that purple-violet looking nose. Very nice. Hopefully I'll be able to catch one tonight when I go out there grinding pretty hard. And then, of course, we also have the shiny Groudon, which we all know what it looks like. It's going to be that kind of yellow. And finally, this event is going to be ending on Tuesday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. PDT, so you don't have much time to get out there. And if I were you, hit as many as those Groudon raids as you can to get those increased candies. If you're using a Pineapple, well, that's going to be even more. If you do not have too many raids in your area and you can't continuously hit raid over raid, that's going to be a good way to farm those. And also take advantage of those shiny Pokemon out there, possibly like Sandshrew, Cubone, and obviously the new Diglett that will evolve into Dugtrio. So there you have it for the perks as well as the new shinies. Now let's go ahead and hop into how to catch and hit an excellent throw on Groudon. Alright, so here is going to be an excellent circle. You can make it just a little bit bigger, but I don't really recommend doing so because the smaller your circle is, the better chances you are of catching that Pokemon. So as we can see, it's going to just be right outside of its eyes there in the back and kind of right underneath its chin. So with the circle set to this size here, you shouldn't really have too big of a problem hitting excellence on it, considering it's going to be right up in your face as well, as we're going to be getting into. I'm going to show you exactly where I let go. Alright, so for the catching portion here, let's go ahead and hop into this. So I'm going to be letting go of the Premier Ball right about where the bottom of that white ring is. You can tell because of the black lines that are going to be in the middle of the Premier Ball do disappear when you do let go of it. That's the indication that you are giving it that spin there. And then once you let go of the screen, it disappears. So I'm going to just slightly throw it right above that white ring there and just give it a toss. Very easy because Groudon is up in your face. It might be a little bit difficult at first because you think it's farther, but it's not. You don't really have to throw it hard whatsoever. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see when you need to throw that ball after it attacks. So my first throw is going to be a little delayed here. You can throw it a little bit earlier because he might just hit you up with another attack soon after, just knocking your Premier Ball away. So right when he kind of steps back, that's when you're going to want to throw that Premier Ball, exactly then. And if you do keep that up, you should be able to hit excellence over and over. I did not hit one right there, of course. It's alright, that's alright. You never know, because sometimes whenever I hit it outside the ring after hitting about 8 excellent throws, well, I catch it, hitting it outside of the ring. Yeah, it's pretty weird. So let's just go on here. And patience is the key. If you're with a raid train and you have to speed it up, you know what you need to do. Basically, just keep throwing it. If it's not a great one, you don't really worry too much about it because you have a raid train going on and you're about to catch 3, 4, 5, 6 more, possibly, I don't know, 17 if you have that many raids going down or if you're that committed at the time. So he's going to take a step back, a little late on the throw yet again. I was feeling pretty comfortable. It wasn't really an aggressive one. Sometimes that raid boss can attack over and over again, but other times they just sit there. So fairly simple. So if you're not in any sort of rush whatsoever, just follow those steps and you should be able to catch the majority of your Groudons. Now it's not going to be a guaranteed catch if you hit excellence and wait for it to attack and all that, even if you had 12 Premier Balls, because we know it's just RNG and it still could run away even if you hit all of them with excellent throws. So just follow those steps and you should be good to go on catching your Groudon. Alright, so we're over here on the Go Hub. Let's go ahead and take a look at Groudon's stats here. It's going to be a pure ground type. Max CP, 4,115 attack, 270 defense, 228 in stamina, 205. And if we go down here to the weaknesses, it's going to be weak to grass, ice, and water types. So one of your best counters is going to be Kyogre, determining on what move it has, which we're going to be going over here in a second. Resisting electric, poison, and rock. And the 100% IV that you're going to be looking for non-weather boosted is going to be 2351. That's 2351, 100% IV, non-weather boosted. For weather boost in sunny weather, 100% IV is going to be 2939. So 2939, 100% IV in sunny weather. Now let's go ahead and take a look at its moves here. I understand a lot of you already know this information here. It's just there's new people coming in all the time, so we have to refresh them and help them out. The quick moves are going to be Mud Shot and Dragon Tail. Charge moves are going to be Solar Beam, Earthquake, and Fire Blast. So we see it's going to be covering a lot of its weaknesses as far as the water and ice type, right? So if you're using Kyogre, Solar Beam is going to hit you like a truck. If you're using ice types, Fire Blast is going to hit you fairly hard as well. That's why Gyarados is going to be one of your best counters here because it's going to be mixed with Flying type. So the super effective Solar Beam is not actually going to be taking effect, as well as if it has Earthquake, it will be resisting that, being a part Flying type. And then Fire Blast, well, it's resisting that because it's going to be part Water type. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Pokemon and the counters that I will use depending upon the move that it does have. Alright, so taking a look at my Fire Blast set here, I do have 2 Kyogres, of course, with Waterfall, and then equipped with Hydro Pump as well. For the Gyarados, we do have Waterfall and Hydro Pump. For Alligator, we have Waterfall as well as Hydro Cannon, the Community Day move. For Mewtwo, we have Psycho Cut and Ice Beam, and then for the last Kyogre pulling it up, Weather Boosted caught there, just thought I'd throw it in there just for kicks. that's going to be Waterfall and Hydro Pump, of course. So going up against Fire Blast, that's what you're going to want to use. The grass types obviously are going to be weak to that, so you're probably not going to be wanting to pick those as well as your ice types. Then if we move down here to Earthquake, I do have 2 Kyogres in the beginning because they're just going to be taking neutral damage to that. You could put your Gyarados up there with Waterfall Hydro Pump because they will be resisting it and lasting quite a significant amount of time, especially if you do dodge those Earthquakes. Now, as far as using Roserade with Earthquake, it is going to be part Poison type, and Poison is going to be weak to Earthquake. But you just need to remember it's going to be part Grass as well, so it's going to be neutralized, still taking a good amount of damage. But if you do get hit with that, at least you will be able to charge up that charge move of yours and get them off a little bit quicker. And then we have Sceptile with the Community Day Frenzy Plant, and then Mewtwo pulling it up in the rear with Ice Beam as a bit of a tank, I suppose, or an anchor. And then for the Solar Beam here, this is where you're going to want to go in with your Grass type Pokemon. Going in there with the Kyogres is not going to be within your best interest. You can dodge, and some people are reporting that the dodge glitch is gone, but personally for me, I can show you clip over clip of about 7 different raids that I did, which I did get Shadow hit. So not too sure. I got the newest version, so who knows what's going on here. Maybe some people are experiencing it differently than I am. So for the Solar Beam, first up is going to be Roserade, plain and simple. You could go in with Kyogres or all of the other counters that we were just discussing, but you're going to be taking super effective damage from that Solar Beam, and Roserade is going to be resisting that quite significantly, being a Grass and Poison type. Then we have Gyarados being part Flying, so it's just going to be neutral damage to that Solar Beam, so you can pick and choose what you want to go with, but Gyarados is a safe option pretty much for all of these movesets here. And then we have Sceptile with the Community Day move, Mewtwo with Ice Beam. I threw an Articuno there because it is going to be part Flying and dishing out super effective damage with those ice moves. Not going to be your best DPS option at this point, but it's a little something. If you have it, you may as well throw it in there. If you're with a big group, you don't really need to worry about all that. Just, go recommended. Actually, no, don't go recommended. Somebody was telling me in the comments, stop telling people just do recommend. I don't really say go recommended at all. But if you have a lobby of 20, let's be realistic. Come on, you know what it is. It gives you somewhat of a good counter. You're good to go. Unless you're like a level 15, 25, you don't really have much. But anyways, I digress. So Articuno, not your best, but still decent with Solar Beam, resisting it being part Flying. And then you have Venusaur, of course, being the same typing as Roserade. So you will be able to resist that Solar Beam quite significantly, as well as dishing out a great amount of damage if you have Razor Leaf and Solar Beam. But the recommended moveset personally is going to be possibly Razor Leaf and Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant all the way, okay? If you weren't able to get one of those Community Day Venusaurs and you have a whole bunch of them sitting around, Solar Beam works, but Frenzy Plant's going to be doing a lot of damage continuously, and you won't get stuck, say, almost to Solar Beam, and then you just faint off. With Frenzy Plant, your 2 charges continuously happening. So there you have the sets as far as what I'm using. All right, with that said, trainers, I have to get out there and try to find one of these Lake Trio Pokemon. Who knows, how rare they're actually going to be, but I'm still going to go and give it a shot. And good luck out there trying to find yourself a shiny Diglett. I suppose at this point is not even like that exciting, but you also have the shiny Groudon to look forward to in the legendary raid. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I will catch you all later. Wish me luck on finding one of these things. Let's go.